This is Ashes of Singularity, and it's a new strategy game we're working on to come out. It's supposed to come out next year-ish. And what we're showing it on here is Mantle. It's running at 4K resolution.
Okay.
So, like, if we were running on a, say, DirectX 11, you were not going to run this at 4K. That's not even a possibility. So thanks to Mantle and as well as DirectX 12, we can now do things that just weren't possible previously.
You have a genuinely spectacular level of complexity going on here. You have thousands?
Thousands, several thousand units are being displayed simultaneously on a screen.
And one of the most important things about this is really using the hardware to full effect, yeah? We have a dual GPU setup and an 8-core CPU running flat out?
Exactly. Now, and before Mantle, you just couldn't do that. Even if your GPU could do amazing things, we just couldn't feed it fast enough because our input to the GPU would be serialized. So there was basically a traffic cop between the CPU and the GPU. But now, every single core of your CPU is getting fully utilized. There's a number of really interesting things, especially from a technical point of view. First of all, besides the fact that there are thousands of units and every single shot, every single explosion is its own light source, the terrain itself...
Wait a minute. No current graphics system can handle more than 8 lights, can it?
Right, well, in theory, well, your hardware can, but as a practical matter, no, after around 8, it becomes really problematic. But here, thanks to Mantle, as well as you can do this on DirectX 12 or on Vulkan, every single shot is casting light.
All right, we're really excited to show off this game. This gets back to the bread and butter of what PC strategy games used to be like many years ago. And what we have built here is a game where we can put you in an entire war rather than just a single battle. Unlike a lot of games in previous generation, we were really limited by the technology. We couldn't offer a huge number of units for someone to control. But because of this next generation APIs and technology, we're able to bring a much wider experience.
So this is running right now on Mantle, and you guys have been collaborating really close with Microsoft about getting DX12 up and running and looking great here.
People have to understand that it's a lot of times what happens in a game like this, and if you've played any RTS, you'll notice that sometimes the frame rate is, most of the time frame rate's fine, but because the player can do whatever they want, we can get these peak situations, because if you see here, there's this massive battle going on because that's what the player wanted to do. But you can see here, the first thing that's sort of interesting is you can see that this Mantle allows us to do explicit multi-GPU, which we've been extremely happy with.
Indeed.
And you can see that those are what we call the fences. It's telling us, it's flickering there because it's telling us which GPUs are full. And most of the time those are blinking on and off. That means more or less we're keeping those GPUs completely filled. And so you can see that even in these incredibly complex scenes, Mantle is ripping through it so fast.
Here you're losing just 3 milliseconds or so per frame?
Yes, only 3 milliseconds is being spent inside the driver stack. And so that's fantastic news. So it's no longer taking away CPU from the things that we want to do, our game simulation and our physics and all these other things.
AMD was the hero here. AMD really led the way. We were being very much limited in the games we could do. That one core talking to the GPU is not acceptable. We have multi-core CPUs, and we should be able to make the most out of that. And now, thanks to Mantle and DirectX 12 and Vulkan, we're going to see completely new classes of games that we can't even imagine yet. We're supposed to go into beta this summer, and but we're announcing today, so it's on ashesgame.com. You can go and check out the lore and the gameplay on that. But beta this summer and final release probably next winter.
Awesome. Well, we greatly look forward to that, Brad. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate the chance to talk to you.